Where did that name come from? Let's talk about that.
Man Up with Mark. Mark talks about everything under the sun. You may agree with him, and again, you may not.
Yeah, as a guy, I'll sit there and think, where did that name come from? That name of a certain product or a certain item or a certain store. Where'd it come from? How'd they get that name? Again, I'm a guy. I think of stupid shit like this. So I thought I'd share it with you. Here are 4 items that I thought, where'd they get that name from? The first item is WD-40. Any of you know out there where they got that name from? Go ahead, send me a comment. Let me know. I'm going to tell you what I've learned about that item and how it got its name. Let me know if you think this is correct. In 1953, the Rocket Chemical Company began developing a rust prevention solvent for the aerospace industry. The name WD-40 indicated what the product does. Water displacement. Get it? Rust prevention solvent, WD-40, water displacement. And the 40 is from how many times it took to get the process right. It took them 40 times to get this solvent to work the way they wanted it to. So, WD-40 got its name. The second is Starbucks. So, at any rate, the founders of Starbucks, I think there were 3 of them at the time, they were trying to figure out a name for their coffee selling company. I believe that they first started just selling the coffee beans and grinding them for people to buy either the ground coffee or the whole bean coffee. And then later years, they developed the actual coffee shop with the baristas and all the fancy foo-foo coffee drinks. But when they were creating the company, they were trying to figure out a name. And one of the founders, don't know which name that was, he was an avid reader, and Moby Dick was his favorite book. And he wanted to name the coffee shop after something in the book Moby Dick. And they went back and forth, and how about Captain Ahab? No, we don't want to call it Captain Ahab. And well, how about the name of the ship? And the name of the ship was called Pequod. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Pequod, something like that. It was a weird name. No, we don't want to name it the name of the ship. So the 3 of them finally agreed to name the new coffee shop, coffee selling shop, after the name of the first mate. And the first mate's name in the book Moby Dick was called Starbuck. How about that? Did you know that? I didn't know that. The next one, Google. Where did Google get their name? Google. Googling. Go to the Google. The Google said, but the word Google actually came from a mathematician's son. The mathematician's name was Edwin Keisner. And he was working on, I don't know, mathematical formulas of some sort. And he was trying to think of a name of a number that was 1 with 100 zeros behind it. And he was sitting around his office or his home office or wherever he was doing his mathematicianing, and his son was there, and he asked his son, what would you call a number that had a 1 followed by 100 zeros? And the son thought about it and came up with, how about Google? And the spelling of it at that time was Googol, Google. And the mathematician said, hey, that's a good name for that number. Well, the creators of Google decided to use that word, but they varied it a bit and spelled it Google. I don't know, maybe not to get in trouble with the mathematician. He had a copyright on that Google name, I guess. So they changed it a bit. So that's where Google got its name. It's basically the derivative of a number that is 1 followed by 100 zeros. That's a lot. And the last one here, M&Ms. Where did M&Ms get their name? Not only, where did they get their name, but how did they get their name? I mean, most people probably know that, well, M&M's named after the 2 owners. Yeah, but everybody knows it's the Mars Company, but they don't know what the other owner's name is. Do you? Let me know. The other owner is, last name is Murray. Yeah, Mars and Murray. They were the 2 owners of this candy company that came up with these little chocolate drops with candy coating on it. And they originally were going to call their product Smarties. But come to find out, there was another product in England with that same name. They're little candies, little round circular candies that were called Smarties. And not only in England were there these candies called Smarties, there was an American candy that was called Smarties. If you're old like me, you probably remember what Smarties look like, or know what Smarties look like. It's a little clear cellophane tube of candy, and they're different colors, and they're little tiny circles. They're little candy circles, kind of like Sweet Tarts, if you know what Sweet Tarts are. But at any rate, the 2 of them thought, well, we've got to think of a different name. So they came up with, let's use our initials. Let's just call them M&M's. There you go. Now you know the rest of the story, where M&M's got their name. Let me know what you guys thought about that. I know, it's stupid, it's idiotic stuff. But again, it's stuff that a guy thinks about. Maybe some of you girls think about that too. But a lot of guys think about this stupid shit. Yeah. So, let me know what you thought. Let me know if there's any other items out there that you kind of thought, how'd they get their name? Let me know about it. Throw me a comment. And also, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. You gotta like to ring that bell. The algorithm, that YouTube algorithm, loves that bell ringing. Yeah. Also, if you would, please donate to my Patreon. That's patreon.com/manupwithmark. Right there, you can donate money so that I can operate this silly-ass podcast. Okay? Okie dokie. Till tomorrow. See ya.
If you have a question or comment, email Mark at manupwithmark.com.